Hi, good morning. Today I'm sharing the results of my 30-day experiment on LinkedIn followership. So for those that have been following, about a month ago, I started an experiment where I was trying to increase followership, and I had a lot of questions. Marketing had told me that increasing personal branding can translate into company followership and interest. But obviously you need content to post, and I needed more data on how to do it, what's best. So I wanted to experiment with video posts. I also had data that video posts were better performing, and that's the trend. So I started a 4-week experiment where I posted a video post every workday for a week, 1 to 5 minutes in length, and a variety of content with relatively unscripted data. It had to be relatively unscripted if I was going to have the time to do it every week. I had a lot of questions at the beginning of the month. Is this going to be too much work? Is it going to be burdensome? Is it going to be fun? And what in the world am I going to post about every day? So I tried to categorize posts into what I'm up to, questions for the group, some personal content, and other. Looking back at baseline data, started out with 427 post impressions, average in the past week, 827 followers, and then in past 90 days in previous week, 280 viewers and 54 search appearances. Then looking at company metrics, started with 600 followers with a good amount of new in the last 30 days, 225 page views, and 100 unique visitors. So when we look at data for the past, I looked at the past 30 days and the past 90, but starting with the past 30 days, the most impactful metric was definitely post impressions. So post impressions quadrupled in a month, and this one's very intuitive. The more you post, the more content there is for people to view and interact with. So this one definitely worked. Followers went up steadily, 827 to 871, so pretty good percentage increase there. Profile views also went up steadily. Search appearances doubled. This was a very choppy metric that stayed the same for several days and then would jump. Company metrics, less success. So followership increased by about 10%. Caveat, I don't think that this was me, honestly. I think that this was our marketing guy, Kieran, who does a great job of posting things for the company. And you see this evidence in the past 90 days where you can see that followership did increase on its own over time. This was a little bit of a fluke here at the end of March when we invited a bunch of people to follow. But overall, I don't think this is me. Visitors in the past month went down. Overall, we're at a positive delta, but I definitely didn't improve visitors or impressions. Same story there. If you look at new followers for BioLogic versus our competitors, we're at 225%, but our overall followers is so small compared to these big players. So I think that's more of squinting and trying to find success. New followers actually dropped if you look at how many over time, but again, because of that one day where we invited a ton of people, that skews the metrics a bit. Page views dropped in the past month, overall slight increase delta. So the data for the company are less clear. Overall conclusions for this experiment: were the video posts impactful? Yes, definitely. Was there room for improvement? Yes. Learned a lot from the experiment. The design was flawed. I should have had a baseline run-in period so that I could truly track metrics from baseline. And I really don't think I made an impact on the company metrics. There's a lot of things I could have done better. I should have been tagging BioLogic and connecting this to the company if I wanted it to translate through. Every day is too much. As I mentioned on the interim analysis, after a couple of weeks and I started getting better at posting quickly in the mornings. I started posting in under 24 hours, and that hurt. But the nice part of that is that I got over my fear and wonder of, can I do this and how will I do this? It really wasn't that hard. I started to kind of enjoy thinking about what I would post about. So I've learned a lot. It was a good experiment for me, and I now have a really good idea of how I want my personal LinkedIn brand to look in the future. So for the next month, I'm going to go quiet and do some planning, and then I'll start again in July after I have a solid baseline. For those of you that followed this experiment, thank you. Last thing, the most impactful post, surprisingly to me, were the more personal tone posts. So there was a post about off-label questions, how to explain off-label to a layperson. That was the best performing post. And then posts that I talked about more personal things like being a mother and traveling performed the best. Day of the week didn't seem to matter, but it was a small data set. So more to come. Talk soon.